It's like the person said on that live stream, self-improvement is constant. You're going to be improving for the rest of your life. And that's true. I acknowledge that. But that wasn't the point of the live stream. The point of the live stream was that in regards to females, your self-improvement does have a limit. There's only so much you can improve when it comes to your looks. And, let's just be real. A lot of dudes don't want to just go to the gym just so they can become some Arnold Schwarzenegger just to get a female. It's not really that serious to dudes. As long as your health is in check, whatever, you're good. A lot of dudes don't want to do all that for a female. You know, as far as your money situation, I mean, a lot of dudes aren't really gonna get a super prestigious job, and even if you are to get money, I mean, obviously there's plenty of there's a TFL around here, that showed a whole wad of cash, and he doesn't have nothing. He doesn't have nobody. So I mean, you either gonna be used for it, or you're just gonna it's not really gonna be effective. And as far as the status part, I mean, a lot of dudes don't have a super big social circle. A lot of dudes do not, so that's pretty self-explanatory. So when I see dudes talking about, oh well, I'm going to get the surgery for my face or whatever, which I feel is very extreme. But if you want to do that, go do that. I will be the first to tell dudes to, you know what I mean? Hey, go to the gym, try and look as good as possible. Try and get your fat down as much as possible. Try and get as popular as you can, because like I said before, in the past I would have just told you to be confident, but in this shallow ass in this shallow ass era right here, man, it's very severe. It's very toxic, and that the average runaround isn't good enough, you know. But the reason that I advocate all this superficial stuff, because it is superficial, but the reason I advocate for it so heavily now is just because, like I said, the environment is toxic, man. Like I've shown in these last couple of videos, man, it is statistically proven that TFL is real. It is statistically proven that incel is real. The first article I uploaded said that half of millennials are single. Oh, well, that's happening because, a lot of people don't really have money, which is true. Oh, well, a lot of people, a lot of people, what was one of the reasons in there? Oh, well, a lot of people just feel like because they have so many options that they can just hold off trying to, meet up with somebody. Hmm. Okay. So let me ask you guys out there. You can comment down below, whatever. Do you guys have a whole bunch of options in your inbox? Do you guys have a whole bunch of options just constantly bombarding you with offers to go on dates and to have sex and to do this? Do you guys have offers like that? Because that's what the first article said. Majority of people have so many options that they can just hold off dating. So, maybe I'm missing something here, but me myself, I for damn sure don't have no sort of offers like that. And then the next chart I brought up talked about, okay, well, pretty much the same stuff, but they just brought up different statistics. And like I said before, once they split up the statistics from male to female, we would see a totally different thing, which we did. And as you saw, the females ratio as far as not having sex, that should stay consistent. Their numbers aren't rising that badly. But the male side, that shit raised dramatically, 28%. Dramatically, right? So pretty much what they're saying from the chart, let's forget about the numbers, whatever. Basically, what the chart is saying is that a majority of dudes 18 to 30, because that was the age range that it was from. They're basically saying that 18 to 30-year-old dudes are basically just going through severe incel and TFL. You know what I mean? Let's cut the bullshit. Let's cut out the numbers. That's pretty much what it said. So with that being said, if majority of dudes are not getting it in, they're going TFL, they're, you know, and the female side is not really changing, then obviously that means that if females are still having consistent interactions, obviously it must be with a smaller portion of people if majority of younger dudes are struggling, right? Okay then. So this is where 80-20 comes along, 80, the 80-10 and all that, because it's pretty damn severe. And like I said before, these things are happening not because of some damn, oh well, dudes are so busy watching porn. Porn motivates dudes to want to be with females even more. Porn doesn't make a person want to, I'm not saying it doesn't get that severe, but a lot of these things that they're talking about, they're things that motivate people to want to fulfill certain desires even more. That whole porn excuse is bullshit. You know what I mean? Then they talk about the options. Dudes don't have options like that. Then they talk about, oh well, a lot of dudes, a lot of people, they're living with their parents, they don't have money, whatever, which is true, but I mean, just look around, guys. Is that really stopping majority of the people that you see from having kids? I'm talking about there was a female that I used to mess with who just graduated, and she already has a kid, not even 21 yet. So you got to ask yourself. I mean, well, she didn't graduate recently. I think she graduated like the year before, whatever. But the point I'm trying to say is that there's plenty of people you can see, females that you can see that are barely 21, that are barely 22, that are having kids. They don't have their own place, yada yada yada. So that's bullshit. You know what I mean? So the point I'm trying to say is that the reason that the numbers look like that, the reason that the chart looks like that, the reason that there is a severe sex drought is because the standards that you need to follow are too damn high. It's too much rejection going on. It's too much bullshit you're going through. Too much flaking. Too much arrogance. Too much bullshit that dudes have to go through. And now it's just a good chunk are just MGTOW, TFL, incels, pretty much. So with all this negative stuff being said, we already know this. I've shown this. You've seen the charts, whatever. So with that being said, we know that things are super severe. The only thing that we can do in this point in time, outside of constantly improving to get to where we want to be, is to just have pride in our attention, have pride in our time, have pride in our energy, man. Because like I said before, we already know what the real solution is, but as far as how it can realistically play out, I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think realistically speaking, I just don't see dudes waking up and just saying, you know what, let me stop giving all these people all this attention. Let me stop giving these people all this validation that they didn't even deserve in the first place. But no, they don't feel that way. You know, you know, like I said before, there is no logical reason to be cold approaching. There's no logical reason to be giving random compliments, all this other unnecessary bullshit. It just degrades you, and you're just constantly pedestalizing these people that already look at you as inferior. So but that's pretty much the bottom line, man. With all this bullshit, all this really showing me is that I need to love myself more now than ever, and I need to really have pride in myself more now than ever, because this environment is not catered to me. It's not catered to us. I know a lot of you dudes, you know, I know you feel like shit and all this other stuff, man, but at this point in time, man, I'm gonna just end the video here. But at this point in time, the Unreal One, that's his channel. The Unreal One, he really does have a good point, man. A good chunk of dudes really don't appreciate themselves. A lot of dudes really don't love themselves. A lot of dudes really have low self-esteem, and this is really not the time at this point, to be really, you know, feeling so down about yourself and not, taking pride in yourself, man. So that's pretty much it.